friends, and welcome back to my channel. In case you're new here, my name is Victoria and I run Time and Tenderness both here on YouTube and on Instagram. I have a little bit of a different video today. It's been a while since I've done just a talking video. I can't remember what the last video was I did, but I have a video that I've been working on with the help of some friends, or a friend, about 5 things that I think every new stay-at-home wife should know. So I've been a stay-at-home wife for about 3 years now. Well, not about, yeah, 3 years since getting married. We just started straight from the gate being a stay-at-home wife. And there was a couple things that I wish I had known before jumping into it just head first. And I wanted to share those 5 things with you. So here's 5 things I wish I knew. Okay, so the first thing that I wish I knew was to establish a set routine. Just because you're home all the time, it's not an excuse to be lazy, and it's not an excuse to just wake up and throw caution to the wind and just see what happens during the day. Establish a set routine. Your new job, even though you're not going to an office, a salon, a hospital, if you're a nurse, whatever you did before, your job now is to take care of the home. So establishing a set routine means making a schedule of what tasks you want to accomplish, what days of the week. So my personal schedule is say Tuesdays, for instance. I'm filming this on a Tuesday. Tuesday, I try to accomplish all the laundry, clean the floors, and do the bathrooms, and change the linens on our bed. So just establishing a set routine is really helpful, because then that holds you accountable for what needs to get done what day. So then you feel even more accomplished when you get those tasks done, and you won't be drowning in housework later on down the line because you just didn't feel like doing something one day of the week, and now it's built up. The laundry has built up over the course of 2 weeks now because you haven't done it, and now you need to desperately do laundry and you're dreading it. But if you set a set routine, it'll really help in the long run, because then you're getting everything done. And you also should just approach it like, this is my job now. I used to have set tasks at my normal job, so now I should have set tasks at this job now. So have a set routine is the first thing that I wish I knew. The second thing I wish I knew was to establish a meal planning schedule. Now, this is something I've been married for 3 years. I'm just now really getting into. I've dabbled in it before. I never really stuck with it, but now I'm really trying to stick with it, which is to find recipes that I want to make, and I schedule them during the week. So say I'll make something Monday, something Tuesday, something Wednesday, but I don't really hold fast to that schedule too much. Say I'm no longer in the mood for what I had planned for Monday, so now I'm gonna make what I made for Wednesday, and I'll just swap them out just for that instance. So what helps with a meal planning schedule is that you can look up the recipes ahead of time, look at the ingredients that you need, look at the ingredients you don't have, the ingredients you do have, and then write them down on your grocery list, and take that grocery list with you to the grocery store. That way you're only buying what you need, and you cut down on waste, and you make sure that you're not overspending at the grocery store, because then you're sticking to a list and you know for a fact you're going to eat it and it's not going to get thrown in the trash. So that's my second tip, is to establish a meal planning schedule. My third tip is to take into account your husband's tastes and needs. So you might be super excited, you're gonna have your own apartment, your own home, whatever, and you really wanna decorate, and you have all these visions, and you show your husband your Pinterest board of what you plan for the house, and I'm sorry, I have something itchy here. You show your husband all the Pinterest boards that you have planned, the color schemes you have planned, and he goes, I don't really like that color, or I don't really like that fabric. Well, that can kind of be disappointing, and you might be wondering hey, what the heck is wrong with you? But you should still take into account their needs and what they like too, because they have to live in the house too, so they have to be comfortable too. For instance, my husband Jack, he really likes wood. So we have, in this house that we have here, we've really incorporated a lot of wood elements. We have a shelf that he made right above our television. We have a kitchen island here that's made of wood, and just little things like that have really helped tie everything in together to make it look like two have become one. My taste and his taste are now molded together, and it balances each other out perfectly. Now, you have to also take into account their needs too, in the sense of organizing. So I have a method that I organize my clothes in my closet, and my husband has a completely different method that he organizes his clothes in his closet. His method drives me crazy, but It's his clothes. He needs to be the one to be able to find what he needs in the morning before he goes to work. So let him have his little system and him know where everything is. That way things can just run more efficiently and he's not constantly saying, babe, where'd you put my this? Or babe, where'd you put my that? You can also help, it'll also help out in the long run too if you include your spouse in how you're organizing essential rooms in the house, such as the kitchen or the bathroom. So if you do plan to reorganize something, include your spouse's input. That way they also know where things are too. Because there's nothing more frustrating than you just sat down to enjoy a cup of coffee and in the distance from the bathroom, your husband is like, hey babe, where'd you put my razors? Knowing full well that you put them right in the top drawer where you always put them and you designated that to be the razor drawer, but he doesn't know that if you don't tell him that. So number 4 is something that I really wish I knew before I got married, and it was to establish credit. So now that I'm married, I'm not working, so I haven't had a job on tax paperwork or whatever in my history for 3 years now. So if I were to apply for a credit card or apply to be on a loan of some sort, I am a liability and chances are I will get denied because I'm not showing any proof of employment. So something that I really wish I had done was to establish good credit before I got married, which I did not do. I didn't have any credit. I had one little tiny car payment and that was it. It wasn't enough to really build up my credit, but I think it's really important to establish credit. Credit is something that I think my dad once said that credit is like a snake. It can bite you and hurt you, or it can be there and just, you know, help you out sometimes. But I can't remember the exact analogy. I wish I knew it off the top of my head, but anywho, credit can be your friend or it can be your enemy, and you really just want it to be your friend by not abusing it. I've had friends that they turned 18 and they went and they opened as many credit cards as they could and they maxed out all those credit cards just because they could. And now years and years and years and years later, they're still struggling to pay them off. They have high interest rates and they can't apply for apartments or cars or mortgages, whatever, because they have such bad credit. So my suggestion would be to open something really simple, such as a gas credit card. So you know you can afford, if you're driving and you have gas in your tank and you know you can afford to at least fill up your gas tank, get a gas credit card, because that way you know that's something that you can pay off and you can only use it at a gas station. And you're not going to be tempted to go on a shopping spree at a department store or at Victoria's Secret or at Sephora. No, you can literally only buy gas with it. Sure, you can get cash back, but that credit card is going to charge you a very hefty fee for asking for cash back. So that would be my suggestion, is to get a gas credit card to start building your credit, to show that you have some history, and then continue keeping that credit card open even after you get married, even adding your husband to it. That way you can show that you still have an active account that you're still actively working on. That way if you do go to apply to get a mortgage or a car payment with your husband, you're not that big of a liability. Number 5, guys think differently than we do. And your guy might be special, but my guy is special, if you know what that means. So my husband is very analytical and he likes to really think things through, whereas my brain goes a million miles a minute and I like to get things done super fast, but my husband really likes to think things through. So when you're dealing with somebody else, you have to really cultivate the quality of patience and try to really cultivate that quality early on so that it helps avoid any arguments and so that you can communicate better with your spouse. So try to identify the differences in your personalities and ways of thinking and try to incorporate some of those ways of thinking and some of their personality traits into your own ways of thinking and your own personality traits. After all, if you are married, you are meant to complement your spouse, so you do have to sit down and try and figure out how you can better their life even more and how you can complement them even more and learn more about them, and most importantly, cultivate the quality of patience. Alright guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video, my little 5 tips for new homemakers, some things I wished I knew before I got married and started the homemaking life. So if you have any other tips that you wish you knew, leave them in the comments down below. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next week. Have a great day and bye!